Welcome to the Globetrottin ADs. This podcast is for you, athletic directors, activity coordinators, coaches, and program associates based in international schools around the world. The Globetrottin ADs is proudly hosted by Nick DeForest from the American International School Vienna and Matt Fleming from the American International School of Budapest. Here they are now, Nick and Matt and the Globetrottin ADs.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Globetrottin ADs. Coming to you from Nagykovácsi, Hungary, here at AISB, the American International School of Budapest. So happy to have a special visitor here today, my good friend and colleague, Nick DeForest.
Yeah, hello.
We're in Nagykovácsi, Nick.
Thanks. We're in your office. This is pretty unique.
I believe
doing
this
it together?
is the first, other than us doing this remotely, but in person from my office.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah, pretty cool. We spent the day or the afternoon recording some video content for some really exciting project that we can't reveal yet, but it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it
Very
at
exciting.
a later date.
Very
But
exciting.
Yeah, it's been great.
Do we have a clue? Any clues? Or no? You want
I don't know.
Okay.
Spoiler. No spoilers.
No
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah.
But really cool. Actually, we're not alone in here. It was great timing because Matt has a new intern, Vince Pados, who's sitting here, waiting for the first question. We know really well, and it was just great because this is his first week here, so we thought, wow, we better take the opportunity, record in person with Vince. So welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Vince.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's an
Second
honor.
day on the job, and you're already getting interviewed. This is great.
Yep, already on
Already
a
a star.
podcast. Yeah, frequent listener. Just happy to be here.
Perfect. Yeah, it's cool to have an alumni. So we're going to talk about the program you're in, why you're an intern, but also just a bit of your past. International school, student athlete, son of a teacher and coach, played for your dad. All these cool things that we love about international schools kind of are embodied in you, Vince. So you're a great guest.
Yeah. So before we get into we're going to talk about Vince's internship and what he's going to be doing with us, right? But before we get that, let's talk about maybe a little bit about your background and tell us a little bit about how you've arrived to this point and your time as an international school student athlete.
Yeah, so I actually started out at AISB, but just for a year when I was 4 years old. And then my dad got a PE teaching job at Munich International School, and then we moved out there, graduated from MIS as a lifer, 13 years, and then stayed a bit more to play some basketball at a club. And yeah, just growing up at MIS was always a big sports environment, especially with my dad being a PE teacher and coach, just always being immersed in that world. Yep. So graduated from Munich and played a lot of different sports, volleyball, basketball, track and field. I also played a bit of sports outside of the school, some ice hockey, but I was always stuck to basketball. Played a little bit of soccer growing up as well, but it was mostly basketball and just getting in the gym day in and day out. Yeah, for sure.
That's great. That's what we want, right? People trying new things in our schools, right? Playing all these sports that you wouldn't play maybe if you're just at a normal school. You probably would have just played basketball maybe at a club, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just being a 3-season athlete is a completely different concept. I've always really enjoyed it.
So, your dad coached you. You played for other coaches as well. You've won lots of championships at Munich, some in my gym. Looking back, anything stick out? One favorite story, great moment?
Well, definitely one of them was the championship in Vienna. Yeah, that was my first gold medal. I remember that. That was a great experience. I was thinking about that when you sent me these questions. I was thinking, okay, I might have to mention that because that was in your gym. But another one that definitely stuck out was beating our school record for the 4x4 JV relay. We beat it by 8 seconds, 1 second off the ISST record. That was amazing because we were just a lap ahead of everyone. And the next day we were looking for that ISST record, but the wind kind of kicked in the last turn.
Okay.
But that was really amazing. Just these tournaments that you go to every season. really amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm so happy you got to have those experiences. As we know, as you know, he graduated in 21, which was right in the middle of the pandemic, which short-circuited athletic careers for a lot of folks. So happy to hear that you got some of those experiences, you got some of those memories. So very good stuff for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially with ISSDs being cut short a week before we were going to fly to Athens for basketball.
Yeah.
With COVID, that was a tough one, but it's also part of the memories, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What was it like? You mentioned your dad. I mentioned your dad already, but being a faculty kid, it's something I really love. I know, Matt, you feel the same. This chance to have your own kids at school is really cool. And I think for the whole student body, having faculty kids is really cool. What was it like for you, being a lifer, as you mentioned, at Munich, and having your dad right there and playing for him?
Yeah, I think it was really great, to be honest. Lots of my classmates asked me, "Oh, is it not weird that your dad's a teacher?" And you always get the kind of favor questions like, "Oh, your dad's playing you favors, or you're gonna get a higher grade, or you're gonna make the team easier." But I think my dad and I both knew that, and it just made me have to work harder to get on the team. Not just to eliminate that, because I had to earn my spot just like everybody else. And yeah, it really made a difference in how I approached the team sports as well. But I kind of liked it. I always said hi to my parents whenever we walked by at school. I had some other faculty kids who were my friends. They'd shy away from me. I was like, it's all right. Like, I'm used to it. After a couple of years, you just get used to walking by your parents at school. I think it was really fun. And then we just drove to school every morning and just saw them during the day. I always really liked it, just having some conversations.
Yeah. Have you had the chance to go back to MIS a couple times, and go back to the school and visit old colleagues or old teachers and maybe see some old friends there?
Yeah, I've been visiting quite a few times now with university. Whenever we have a break, I just go home, and then I'll try to catch up with my old counselor, with some old teachers. I just had lunch with my counselor the other day. Just really great conversations, and it's a completely different environment once you've graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't call him his name. I don't call him by Mr.
Yeah.
I call him by his first name now.
Sure.
And it's different, but it's nice. And the school's changed a lot. Got the new quadruple gym, and the track got built when I was in the 5th grade. Always used that for track practices, but it's grown a lot. It's changing a lot. But it's always nice seeing some old friends and teachers.
And do they have like an alumni association? Do they try to connect with you or do anything with kids coming back like you do to kind of share your experiences of your time at MIS and how that's kind of shaped where you are now?
Yeah, they do that. They've got an alumni association. I haven't really followed along with that too much, but being a faculty kid, it's a little different for me because if you're an alum, you have to sign up through the Alum Friends website to be able to access campus and go around. But with my parents still working there, I can just go in and hang out for the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
A different feeling. And you're still fresh as an alumni, right?
Yeah.
Only a few years on.
Yeah. Everyone just kind of went their own direction.
Sure.
We'll come back together later on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, you are fresh. You're in university. You're here doing an internship. Just tell us a little bit about university, the program, and...
Yeah, so I study international sports management at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. It's my bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 2nd year, and it's really diverse program-wise because we're on quarters. It's really similar to what MIS used to be like. So I like that system where we have Christmas break, we've got 2 months for summer, and then between the quarters we have a week for ski break or fall break. And it's really sport-related, very managerial, quite reminds me of IB Business because it's got all the different business functions. We've had marketing classes, PR classes, all kinds of different things like that. And we have to do some internships. And the moment I saw that we've got a 2-month internship in the 2nd year, I wanted to come back here and just learn from Mr. Fleming. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Matt, now the question's to you. What are you going to do with Vince for 2 months?
Well, he's arrived at a good time to be an intern because it's going to be quite busy. So just coming off a spring break last week, we're now at the halfway point of our spring season. So this is when things are really starting to get busy and kick up with the upcoming tournaments and the trips that'll be happening. So we're going to be hosting 3 or 4 tournaments over the course of the next 4 weeks. So that's going to be a lot of work to do. He's going to be helping me out. So tasking with different things I would normally do, like scheduling, some bus coordinating, making a master schedule. We talked about that today. So that's going to be a challenge for me too, is kind of figure out, because I'm on top of, I feel like I'm on top of my game for the most part, but kind of like, what can I kind of divvy out a little bit so that Vince can do, but also get a good worthwhile experience out of it too, because he needs to learn how these things work, or what's the most efficient way to get things done, and how to deal with people in different groups, and timing of things is important. So I think it's going to be a good experience for him because of the variety of things he's going to be able to do. I told him yesterday, the first thing I told him, like, I kind of have a schedule every day, but I don't have a schedule because as you know, with our jobs, as things pop up, we have things we have to do on the spot, or emails we need to follow up on, or coordinating and scheduling we need to do. And then we have some regular set tasks that we have to have meetings for and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a good opportunity for him for sure, all the way around. Yeah.
But we can't really go into it too much. It's day 2, right?
Yeah.
So it's all coming. It's all coming.
It's all coming. And we'll talk about the student handbook bit too later. We'll put that in.
Bring it in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one of the other big tasks for his project, because you have to do a project, right, as part of your experience.
For the internship, I have to do a project that's a tangible product for the university.
Correct. Yeah. So one of the things I thought of, which would be helpful for him, helpful for me, and helpful for our school, really, is to more formalize our student athletic council. We kind of have a ad hoc situation here now, which has worked out okay when we have big events, but we really want to formalize it a little more. And I have another teacher I'm going to be working with and putting Vince in touch with, that we can kind of get a handbook created, and kind of what are the roles that this club is going to serve for the school, and then also some philosophical ideas we want to think about behind the club, and you know what's the purpose and the drive to make our school better. So that's one of the things he's going to be developing and working with kids. And then ultimately, once we have this handbook in place, we want to start recruiting and getting kids signed up so that we can have this going in place for the start of the school year in August. So the timing is good too for this project.
Yeah, that's cool. Something that you wouldn't get to, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's been something on my plate for a while. I just haven't had a chance to get to, of course, with everything else. Sure. So having Vince here is going to be optimal for putting that together. And
I think you've already started, right?
Yep, definitely. I mean, we had a lot of tasks already, and like
that's
Mr.
right.
Fleming said, the logistics and master schedule and all kinds of different things, and already gotten started on all of it.
Yeah.
And using the resource library of the Globetrottin ADs.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That is important, right? And we shared some things with you, so that's the best, right? To borrow and adapt from everybody around us, right?
Like all done it, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the brilliant part of the job, is when you get in good relationships with people and you can easily share ideas or swap an idea or steal an idea. That works out pretty good, because that's I think we've all been able to do that over the years, of course, and nobody would deny that.
Sure. It's funny because student leadership is a main topic for everybody around. If you have time to do it, or how you do it, or how detailed it is, and every school seems to be different. And it's something we want to talk about, and we've planned episodes for it. And actually, we're really trying to work our next episode to be about different student groups. And we got a guy in 3 different time zones, right, with us in one. And it's just been a pain to try to coordinate the time with all these different time zones. But that's hopefully going to be our next episode. So maybe that comes out while you're still here. That'll also be a resource for you.
Sure.
Yeah. We're working on it. I'm going to get back.
It's coming. It's coming.
Easter breaks,
not easy.
Spring breaks.
This time of year.
I think between the 4 schools for that episode, all 4 of us had 4 different spring breaks. So there was like a month where, I can do it, but I'll be here or I'll be there.
Yeah.
But that's what it's like. All right. Well, look, Vince, why are you here? What made you want to become an AD, or at least do an internship with an AD at a school?
I was thinking about this question before I started the internship. So what was my why? And then just the thought occurred to me that I always loved the smell of popcorn from the concession stands before the games. I thought like that brings back so many core memories of just getting in the gym with all the other schools there with your classmates and just grinding it out and just competing against the other schools. And I think I want to continue that for upcoming students, and you see it in some places a lot more than others, but I just want to maintain that. And I think sports is such a huge facilitator of life skills, especially when you get to do it in a school setting. And it's been a huge difference maker for the way I look at the world and the way I connect sports with everyday life. And I think as an AD, you play such an important role in that, and just facilitating a setting where kids get to be in their natural environment and also just enjoy sports and develop new hobbies. And it's just really a great setting, I feel like. And I want to continue that, and I always loved growing up in an international school.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to go, because I'm happy that you're doing this experience here, because being an international school kid, I think it's a comfortable place for you to get easily and quickly settled in and get the vibe of how things go, because you understand how international schools work. I think if you had somebody else who's coming maybe straight from North America or from the States or somewhere else, it might be a bit more of time to get adapted and adjusted to how things go in international school and living overseas and being abroad and that kind of thing. So that's why I think he's going to be able to hit the road or hit the ground running and be successful in the things he needs to do for this internship. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny, I wasn't sure where you were going to go with the popcorn, but then you brought it together. And it was a really good answer. But I first thought of popcorn. Why? He wants to be an AD because he likes popcorn.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing.
It's
a memory. I know, just to,
because they had popcorn going today too.
I smelled it downstairs. Yeah. I walked by. I was like, hold on, I want to go play basketball.
They had some kind of Shakespeare's festival going on in the library, and they were giving away free popcorn to attend
I missed it.
The festival.
I missed it.
So
I came too late.
I did good. I felt kind of proud for myself. I abstained from the popcorn,
okay.
Which is difficult because usually I'll go through about 2 or 3 boxes of that stuff.
I was worried. No, I wasn't really worried. But sometimes people want to do things, especially coaching, because they had some horrible coaches. I had this horrible coach. I want to be a coach so kids don't have to have some experience like I had. So I wasn't sure. Maybe you had a horrible AD in Munich that you're like, no, I need to do this.
No.
Better.
All love to the ADs in Munich.
Yeah. Andy Orrell, right?
Yeah.
Andy. Do you remember anything about how he ran the tournament? Anything that you must have been at lots of tournaments that he hosted or saw him around at school. Do you remember anything from your time as a student there?
Yeah, he was always really involved. He always did his best to market to the students. Okay, you can cut that part. He always did his best to advertise the teams to the students and to get them involved. And he was really structured in the way he organized it. So he always made it really professional and just gave a great experience. Got as many teams as possible involved, and it really created quite a high competition level, which was really great. Yeah, extremely professional. That's a great word for Mr. Earl. He was a really professional guy. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And there's so many different facets, right? Like you just mentioned marketing. Matt was talking about a lot of details running the tournament, student groups. So there's so many different facets of the job, right? That it's, you really got to be open to everything.
Yeah.
And learn from other people. So you have those memories, the memories of your dad, all the other coaches, 80s when you go to other schools, me talking to you. Yeah, me talking to you after a play or something happened on the court.
That was actually an interesting memory because I remember I hit a 3-pointer against you guys, and the crowd was being annoying, so I just shushed them a little bit. I just put a finger to my mouth.
Sure. My
pointing finger. And you sent some email to Mr. Earl saying that, I'm not even sure how it went. I don't know, that was disrespectful to the crowd or something. I was But that actually was a big deciding factor for the way that I played, because he brought me in and he said, let your game speak and not you. And I was like, yeah. And since then, I was never a big fan of, I don't really run my mouth in game at all. Yeah. So, thank you for that. I was actually thinking about it. Yeah. Big character change there.
And it wasn't that bad, so I don't remember why, but I know we were talking about the tournament, and that was one of the things. Because it also is unique. We have these tournaments, and you have like a packed gym, and all the games throughout the year, there's nobody there. A few parents maybe, quiet gyms, and all of a sudden you get to this tournament, and there's, I don't know, packed full of elementary kids or whatever, and they're all freaking out.
Yeah. And
it's just a total different situation, so.
I always love that environment, though.
Yeah?
The packed crowds in Vienna, we had it for volleyball now, too, in the fall, and now basketball as well. It got loud in there. There's a good echo in that gym as well. Yeah, little 8th grade me, it got me fired up as well if I made a three-pointer.
Well, you mentioned that, and we forgot to ask already, but you coached 2 seasons with the American School of the Hague this year as an assistant coach. So you were actually in Vienna for 2 ISST tournaments.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. But what was that like? Your first, real coaching experience. Now that you're, let's say, an adult, you're back. You traveled with teams. You were there for some tournaments. What was that like?
It's quite different. I definitely had to make a distinction. I was telling Mr. Fleming about this today, that as a 21-year-old, I'm only 3 years older than a senior.
Yeah.
And a couple of them, they let a couple bros slip in practice, and I shut that down really quickly at the beginning. I was like, no. You're doing push-ups if you call me bro. I'm Coach Vince to you. So I had to, it's a double-edged sword, because I was able to connect with the guys really well, but they also kind of thought of me as a friend, and I think of them as a friend too, but there's a difference between coach and friend. So that was a tough one to adjust to at first, but I really like how I was able to connect with the guys. It was a little weird sometimes. I felt like I wanted to go on the court and just play with them, but I had to give them advice from the sideline.
Sure.
So it's a different setting, but it's really fun. I love being able to pass on the knowledge and just the game experience and help them out as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, good for you for recognizing that, because that's not, that could be tough. Like you said, that's a challenge, and you've got to work through that. And I'm probably sure your dad wouldn't have been thrilled knowing that you're letting kids call you bro. But kudos to you for doing that and making sure it's clear, and you set the tone and what the expectation is, which is what you have to do as a professional, right?
Yeah, and it's something I think all good coaches start young, and it's something you all experience at some point. But it's like they're recognizing it, how early, and also, having the rapport where you can be coach player, but then still be friendly afterwards, especially like you said, 3 years different. It helps you become a better coach faster, when you have these experiences. So that's pretty good. And you have next year, you're back at Amsterdam, so you're looking to coach again?
In The Hague.
Yeah, in The Hague. Yeah. The university's in The Hague, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking to coach again next fall?
Volleyball? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been talking to Rosemary about that as well for next season.
Super.
Yeah. Great environment there as well. It's an amazing school. I'm so glad I got back into it. Yeah. Besides university, just as a working there, and great culture as well. Really inclusive, open, good competition levels there as well.
Cool. All right, Matt, let's close us out.
All right. Well, something about the Hague. Have we had anybody from the Hague on the show before?
I don't think so, but Vince has lived there for
Vince
a bit.
has lived there enough, so tell us something cool about the Hague, or something to do there, or
you can go surf.
Good piece of
what?
food. Oh,
really?
Surf, yeah, because it's right on the North Sea.
Okay.
It's not Hawaiian waves, but it's nice. It's North Sea, and you can.
Okay.
That's what I like about the city. It's really diverse. You can go to the dunes. You can go to the beach. You can go to the inner city. You can see some older buildings. You can see not skyscrapers. I've been corrected for this before. They're not skyscrapers. They're tall buildings.
Yeah.
But it's a really diverse city. So you've got all kinds of different. You've got parks. You've got forests. Yeah, and it's close access to everything. 30-minute train ride from the airport, 45 from Amsterdam, 20 from Rotterdam, so you can access everything. It's really, really international as well. I like the community there, because there's the criminal court, and World Forum, and all kinds of different international organizations.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to go there before for we took a high school MUN group there one time, so
Yeah.
it was a really cool experience. Cool city, very nice, very clean. Yeah. So, but beyond that, what do you think? Do you think that after you finish up there, you'd be open to going to new places somewhere else out in the world?
Definitely. I want to see the world, check out all kinds of different areas. Southeast Asia, I'm really curious about. Been to Bangkok once. Just see some other areas there as well. Visit Thailand again, South America. Just see the world. And get to know all kinds of different people.
Great.
Cool.
Well, we're happy to have you here for the time being, and thanks for joining the podcast, and hoping you have a great experience here at ASB, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure.
And I think we'll put definitely the university in the notes and share that out, because there's lots of people like Vince that need to do 2 internships, right?
Yeah.
And I know other schools around do get interns from this university. Frankfurt has a lot. Moscow used to get a ton, but they're around, and they can be great additions to your staff. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Kukri are a global multi-sport clothing brand specializing in providing the world's most prestigious schools with bespoke-made and designed team uniforms for students of all standards and abilities. If you are frustrated by inconsistent colors, branding, costs, and sizing across your school's uniforms, then it's time to discuss an offering where every sport is available, from softball to soccer, for male and female athletes at rates to suit your budget. To find out how Kukri could elevate the apparel of your student athletes to a professional level, email the team at contact@kukrisports.com. A dedicated sales manager will offer you a quote today. Mention this ad and receive a special offer on your coach or PE staff order.
Until next week, this has been another episode of the Globetrottin ADs.